Hello. Hi. All right, let's see what the sound sounds like. Anyway, we're going to do Oracle today. And inner temple. So you're devoted to something, right? And your devotion has to do with your heart, right? So it has to do with connection to your heart. So as you're connected to your heart, right, and you're devoted to work with your heart, what you need to concentrate on is alignment, right? Alignment within yourself, right? And your heart aligning with your life, your heart aligning with yourself, right? Your desires, your needs, your wants, your wishes, and all that jazz, right? And you need to discern very, very carefully what's not aligned. So you need to concentrate and think very carefully what is not aligned. It's not like what's aligned, right? It's not a reassurance of alignment. It's something that will make you doubt your alignment, which is where am I disconnected, right? What's lacking? What is disconnected? So concentrate on that. Another thing is the Trinity that we're working on, right? So within your situation, you need to ask a question to your mind, body, and soul separately and together all at once. So let's say separately. You ask your mind, what is it that you want? You ask your heart, what is it that you want? You ask your body, what is it that you want? Or need, right? Need and want. And then you sort of make it unified, and then you say, what is it that you want in terms of like all three? So work with your Trinity, right? In terms of division and unification, and division and unification, but the process needs to be on and off, on and off. Basically, division, unification, right? So divide, find out what each one of them need and don't need, right? Identify, shift that, and then bring them all together, and what do they need as one, unified, and what don't they need as one, unified, and get rid of one and add the other, and so on. You do have this sense of longing and belonging, and I have to break it to you, it's not going to happen anytime soon. So it feels like you can't relate, and every time you try to relate, it's just like missing the point, right? Don't worry about it, they're saying, because your isolation, so your frequency being isolated is triggering a certain energy shift within the world itself, not just your reality, within the world itself. And that shift has to do with bringing new age, new creations, right? New world and new beginning. So everything new that we have not yet within our lifetime encountered. No one's saying that has not been a thing before. But what I'm trying to say is that your frequency of being alone and not being able to relate to anyone. So the sensation of isolation, the emotion that triggers in you, actually that emotion triggers a change within the world. So please just go with it, because that pain that you're experiencing is triggering the shift within the global aspect of world, right? So you're going to go away somewhere to rest, right? And this kind of rest has to do with like you're feeling like you're being held, right? Comforted. It will be a comforting trip. So you're going on a trip, right? Whatever trip is, right? Maybe it's something that you've thought about, or maybe something you don't even know about just yet. But that trip is going to trigger something inside of you that would make you feel held, healed, replenished, welcomed, rested. So it's good for you. So you need this. This is coming very soon. What they also want you to know is that you have broken something that we would call like ancestral karma, right? So like bloodline karma. So you have broken it, you've healed it, right? You somehow on your own worked on it because you worked on yourself. You've healed and transmuted that ancestral karma. So there's no like ancestral curse, ancestral karma, none of that. It's done. It's been done and worked on and done with. You did it. They want you to know that you did it. That doesn't mean you have to stop working on yourself. I just want you to like throw it in there. Just because the shit has shifted doesn't mean you get to stop. You don't get to stop at all. As a matter of fact, you have more responsibility to keep going with a big G-O. You're getting some kind of energetic upgrade, right? You're going to integrate with, just give me a second. You're going to integrate your energy, right? So energy, so you have this flowing energy, right? And motion that keeps going in and out at all times. Now, every time it goes in or out, it must be integrated with the thought of calling. What is my calling? But calling within the moment, not the calling in terms of the global aspect. What is my general calling? What is my purpose on life? Not that bullshit. What is my calling today? What is my calling tomorrow? Like that, right? I don't know whether you know it, you feel it or not. Some of you can feel it, and some of you don't. But some kind of healing, deep healing, is happening on a cellular level, right? Cellular level. The things are transforming. So maybe, Let's say everyone has a flu around you and you don't get sick. Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of feeling. You become immune to things, right? Or if you're sick, you're healing within 24 hours versus like 6 months or a year. Now, you're asked to share your experience regarding this experience of yours, of healing. So let's say, I don't know, I'm going to give an example. I don't get sick, right? I don't get sick because every time I feel dragged down, right? The spiral of self-pity, self-loathe, defensiveness, I try to force myself out of it. Because defensiveness is a very hard thing to overcome, but yet you force yourself up, you humble yourself, you face the truth, you discern what suits, what doesn't suit, what fits, what doesn't fit, right? And then as soon as you identify things for what they are, and then you relate them to you and you to them, then the balance gets established within your mind, body, and soul. You can't get sick. If there's balance, there's no illness. You've got to understand, guys. Mind over matter means if your mind is in the right place, the matter is your flesh. The mind over matter is that your mind will have full control of your body, which is if your mind can control the emotions, then emotions would not be able to control your body, which is every illness, most of them, if not 99.9% of them, are the reason of emotional reaction to things, but unconscious and subconscious reaction to it. If you start doing the shadow work, right? Shadow work is a beautiful thing. If you start doing the shadow work, and it's no joke. Everybody throws this word around, shadow work, term around, shadow work, but no one really knows what it is. It's a hard work. It's humbling yourself down, identifying your mistakes, calling yourself out, and not just alone, but in front of everyone. So if one must crucify you, that must be you. And after that crucifixion, you must raise. If we play around the religious aspect of it, it's not really religious. It's more very spiritual, but religion claimed it its own. Anyway, we're not going to get into it right now. So everything's going to come. So right now you're not quite sure what is what, who is what to you, where are you in the context of that or this. It's all going to come together very soon. And it's going to come together right at the moment of initiation, right? So you're not aware of this right now, but you're going to cross some kind of threshold, right? And when I'm saying the threshold, I think of you get some kind of, it's like you pass the test, right, on a spiritual psychological realm, in a spiritual psychological realm, and then you cross that threshold, right, and you're given the rite of passage. So let's say, sure, you can cross over, right? That's the initiation part of it. So you've passed the test, now you've been initiated. And that's when things start coming together. So you start understanding where you stand, what your purpose is. Everything that you question right now is going to come and make sense at the time as you cross the threshold, right? Okay, so you need to get grounded because your empathy, right? You're extremely highly sensitive, right? And because you're highly sensitive and empathetic, you keep tagging on people's emotions. So you, more than others, need grounding. What is grounding? Grounding can be done within my context. It can be done with the sound. So for me, it's the sound. So I can listen to a certain music that will move the waters around within my body, right? And I will be grounded. For some, it's walking barefoot. For some, it's hugging a tree. Whatever the hell works for you. Just you need to ground yourself. So if you know you're an empath, this reading is for many people, so maybe some of you are not empaths. If you know you're an empath, you need to ground yourself. And this is not a suggestion. This is a warning. If you don't ground yourself, you're not going to be able to cross that threshold because you're going to be out of your mind. So you need to be centered. For you to be centered, you need to be grounded. For you to pass through the threshold, right? Through that passage, that ascension, right? That initiation gate, you need to be centered. For you to be centered, you need to be grounded. So whatever the hell helps you ground, yoga, dance, music, hug a tree, walk barefoot, whatever the hell it is, do it. And start doing it now and keep doing it every day. Because you have to understand you're picking up everyone else's frequency. You're not just picking it up, my dear. You're connecting to it and you make it your own. It's like putting someone else's shoes and just walking the whole day in them. You can't do that when you have things to do of your own. So I understand as an empath, you can't completely detach. Thus, you must ground if you want to pass your test. So this whole thing that you're experiencing right now is orchestrated, right? So it's like the stage was set and the characters were given to specific people, and basically this was all done so that you can move forward, right? Move forward in a new, different emotional and psychological way. And this whole theater was orchestrated, this whole theme, your drama, your experiences, your heartbreaks, your betrayals, everything was pre-planned and orchestrated. Please don't get angry because it served the purpose, right? And you won't know the purpose until you pass through that gate. So another thing that you must know is that somehow your frequency has the energy of go, big G-O, which is every time you shift, everything shifts around you, and they shift too, and more. It radiates. Every time you think something, everyone starts thinking it. I don't know. You wear purple, they wear purple. You are